Now I want to continue our series on contaminated water throughout California. We are going to travel south near the border of Tijuana. It turns out Border Patrol agents and even kids in the area are getting sick. And several studies are tracing it to the water, which raised our antennas and our questions. So we had to bring in RT correspondent Tasha Sweet, who went there to try to explain the correlation.
Millions of gallons of toxic storm runoff are contaminating Southern California shorelines, and beaches are continually being closed as pollution is spilling over the border from Mexico. You wouldn't know that through this bird sanctuary that millions of gallons of raw sewage runs through here all the way to the ocean. In the last decade, there have been more than 1,600 beach closures off California's coast as a result of contaminated wastewater. But it's not outrage from environmentalists we're hearing from.
Having kids exposed to the toxins is incredibly scary on so many levels.
Bethany Case lives in Imperial Beach with her family and also runs a restaurant in the area. While Case loves her home, she can't help but wonder what the exposure of toxins will do to her children.
We live less than a mile from the beach, so this is where we recreate, but we also breathe in the air that comes from the river valley and the pollution. Even when it dries up, it lifts into the air and then we breathe that.
That same air is causing sickness among Border Patrol agents who work in the area.
We've had one agent nearly lost his arm after getting flesh-eating bacteria when he was doing some training out at the ocean.
Supervisory agent Amber Craig has been patrolling the area for some 20 years now. She says while there was still a risk coming into contact with sewage back then, the issues plaguing the area now are becoming downright dangerous. An overwhelming population boom in Tijuana since the NAFTA agreement, combined with an aging infrastructure not capable to handle such an increase, are reasons enough to be concerned about what travels through here. But a massive pipe breakage in 2017 has caused a major health concern for everyone. Here you can see severe rashes on this Border Patrol agent coming into contact with the contaminated water. CBP has conducted recent testing that revealed everything from E. coli to fecal matter in the water. The stench you can smell here is a result of the wastewater remaining stagnant before being treated, all while the Border Patrol is sitting here inhaling the effects. While the South Bay International Wastewater Treatment Plant does capture trash, Craig says the filtering process doesn't necessarily work when it's raining.
So it goes into these, little side canyons, and then when it rains, it's going to come here because this is the low point.
And while agents are working to defend national security, they're also dealing with tactics from coyotes smuggling illegal immigrants through the border.
The smugglers will tell people to come through the polluted water purposely because they know that that's a potential issue for the safety of the agents.
Do you think the smugglers have an idea that this is contaminated?
Oh, without a doubt. They know this is contaminated. This particular location especially, because there's a lot of industry south of here in Mexico, and so we definitely find pollutants, industrial and medical waste through here.
While medical waste alone is dangerous enough, Dave Gibson with the San Diego Regional Water Control Board says there are even bigger health concerns to come, possibly an outbreak in the making.
Those tires, hundreds of them, make it down the valley. They are also breeding habitat for mosquitoes. And those mosquitoes are the mosquitoes that carry Zika, chikungunya, dengue, and yellow fever. And the immigrants moving into Tijuana right now from Central America, they're coming from countries where those diseases are endemic.
Gibson says while the issue of the runoff between Tijuana and San Diego needs immediate attention, he says that's not the only source of pollution. Raw sewage is also getting dumped farther south into a Mexican river, which also eventually makes its way into the U.S.
When they discharge it there, they're essentially discharging untreated wastewater. The oxidation ponds that they run it through do not treat that wastewater. And so you have about 40 million gallons per day of raw sewage landing on the beach. And then the onshore currents often carry it north, again, across the border, affecting all the beach communities from Rosarito to Imperial Beach.
There are several lawsuits in the works, all pointing to the International Boundary and Water Commission violating the Clean Water Act. The State Water Board, the Surfrider Foundation, and the city of Imperial Beach have all filed similar litigation. Craig says both the U.S. and Mexico need to be compliant in seeking a solution, or people on both sides will suffer.
It's a terrible situation. I've seen pictures and video of folks that are living in very small, undeveloped areas, and there's streams of wastewater just flowing down where they're living and where their children are playing.
It's a problem the community says needs attention at the federal level.
Now, as millions of gallons continue to run through this 5-mile parameter, this community is hoping to work with Mexico so they can put an end to this contamination. At the border, Natasha Sweet, RT.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.